Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. It's time for another edition of Sci-Friday. This one is highly recommended, especially since I just started the Twilight Zone. As everyone said, hey, some of the props you'll actually recognize from the Twilight Zone since they came from our movie. And what movie is it, my friends? Today we'll be watching MGM's Forbidden Planet, the 1956 movie directed by Fred Wilcox, starring Robert Pidgeon and Frances, Leslie Nielsen, and introducing none other than Robbie the Robot. Friends, I have never seen a second of this movie, and I can't wait to see one of the, I guess, the tent poles, right, of science fiction. This is a big day for your boy. I can't wait to watch it, friends. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for some Sci-Friday. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time to journey into a brand new set of stars and inhale that new star smell as we watch 1956's Forbidden Planet. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go! Oh, old school saucer. I love the graphics. Having the credits at the beginning of the movie, I always really enjoyed it because introducing Robbie the Robot. I always thought that it was almost kind of like the overture when you go to see a show or something in the theater. You know, it really kind of sets the mood, gets you ready. You know who you're watching in case, you like the actor. You're able to kind of like put that in your mind as you're watching. In many ways, I think it seems more respectful too. You're not going to leave during these credits, right?
Almost at once, there followed the discovery of hyperdrive, through which the speed of light was first attained and later greatly surpassed. United Planets cruiser C-57D, now more than a year out from Earth base on a special mission to the planetary system of the great main sequence star, Altair.
Throwing us in. I love it. Here's the basis of what you need to know. Go.
When do we get a DC fix, Jerry?
Half a minute, Skipper.
Look how young Leslie Nielsen is. Oh my God.
Chief, we'll drop back below light speed in about 3 minutes. Got your breakable gear stowed?
Aye, sir.
All right, good.
Oh, I recognize him too. I forget the actor's name. Damn it.
All hands square away to decelerate. Ship's beeper will, as usual, sound 10 times after lights dim.
Come on, Doc.
DC, bosun.
Aye, aye, sir. DC stations.
This is awesome already.
Wanna
Look at that.
bounce through this one?
The two levels are so cool. What are they walking through? Are they transporting? What was that? That's awesome. The poles.
There's Altair right on the nose, Skipper.
We too close, or? These are great graphics. I mean, is this remastered, I wonder?
Okay, Jerry. Punch out an orbit on the fourth planet.
Aye, Skipper.
Fourth planet in the Altair system.
As you'll recollect from your briefing lectures, this is an Earth-type planet. 20 years ago, the spacecraft Bellerophon landed here with a prospecting party of scientists. Our mission is to search for survivors.
So did they have to get into that beam stuff whenever they left like faster than light or left like hyperspace or whatever? So does that show like the relative positioning of the craft? It's interesting.
Another one of them new worlds. No beer, no women, no pool parlors, nothing.
I know you, buddy.
The dude would throw rocks at tin cans, and we gotta bring our own tin can.
Where is everybody, huh?
Not even any short-range radio signals yet?
Not so far, sir.
I know that guy. It's gonna drive me nuts. I hate to say it. I've never seen a lot of these people this young.
I may be missing some individual structures, but there are no cities, ports, roads, bridges, dams. There's just no sign of civilization at all.
So no sign of the Bellerophon.
We're being radar scanned.
Really?
Combat stations, blaster men, activate your scopes.
Radio contact sir. There's a voice here.
Human?
Yes, sir. Sounds like it.
Boosted.
SOS?
United Planets cruiser C-57D. J.J. Adams commanding.
J.J. Adams. I love it.
Who?
Edward Morbius.
Morbius.
We're very glad to find you alive.
I, of course, appreciate your concern, but absolutely no assistance of any sort is required.
Goodbye.
Sorry, sir.
Commander, if you set down on this planet, I warn you that I cannot be answerable for the safety of your ship or your crew.
Well, it sounds like there's something dangerous down there.
Dr. Morbius, I require landing coordinates.
Very well, but I wash my hands of all responsibility.
Yeah, we got it.
You may come in at 83, 17, 4 North.
Flies him right into a mountain range.
Okay, Jerry. I'll take her in.
I like their uniforms. Like how some of them have hats, and it's really interesting. He's got, the rank seems to be on the shoulders.
And until further notice, all hands will wear sidearms. That is all.
I like the way you think, JJ. I mean, for 56, if this isn't remastered, these are great graphics. I mean, really cool. I mean, it looks like a dime store cover. You know what I mean? I got to look up if it's remastered after this, because these are, it has to be. If it's not, I'm in awe. I was under the impression that this was a much bigger craft. It's not. It's not at all.
All clear, sir.
These guys coming down. That one dude there not using the handrail. It was Leslie Nielsen. He looked so funny.
Chief?
Sir?
You're in command now, Quinn. You keep right at those instruments.
Aye, sir.
Hey, what's this dust coming?
I like the cable. We got a vehicle. Maybe. Or something underground. I love it. I know who Robbie the robot is, by the way, simply because of like seeing toys and things like that. I have no context.
If you do not speak English, I am at your disposal with 187 other languages along with their various dialects and sub-tongues.
That's awesome.
For your convenience, I am monitored to respond to the name Robbie.
Nice climate you have here.
Nice weather we're having.
Will you get in, gentlemen?
I'm going to drive like a bat out of hell back to the residence.
Track this. If I blink red.
I'll bring the tractor in a hurry, sir.
Right.
Damn, I'm liking this so far. I wonder what the budget was for this.
Passengers will please fasten their seat belts.
Hold on to your butts. Oh, what? I mean, I can see why we would miss that from, because he said individual structures he couldn't pick out. It'd be too little, but. What happened to the rest of the colonists? Because this doesn't seem like everybody. But then again, I don't know how many there were there, so.
I'm sorry, sir, if we're not welcome, but we do have our orders.
But of course you must stay for lunch, gentlemen, and do forgive the ill manners of an old recluse. Won't you come in?
Okay, Doc.
Whatever that lunch was, it was certainly delicious.
Simply some of Robbie's synthetics.
He's your cook, too?
Even manufactures the raw materials. Come round here, Robbie.
Did you make Robbie?
One introduces a sample of human food through this aperture. Down here, there's a small built-in chemical laboratory where he analyzes it. Later, he can reproduce identical molecules in any shape or quantity. Plus, absolute selfless obedience. Activate the disposal unit.
Household disintegrator beam.
Put your arm in there.
That's not ominous.
Tremendously strong, of course. He could quite easily topple his house off its foundation.
In the wrong hands, mightn't such a tool become a deadly weapon?
Yeah.
Commander, may I borrow that formidable-looking sidearm of yours?
No.
Point this thing at that Althea Frutex out there on the terrace. Fire.
Ooh.
Pointed at the commander.
Oh,
Aim right
JJ.
between the eyes. Fire. You see, he's helpless. Locked in a sub-electronic dilemma between my direct orders and his basic inhibitions against harming rational beings. Cancelled.
Rational beings? That's... I see a loophole.
Doctor, I tinkered him together during my first months up here.
Coffee is ready, sir.
Where is everybody? You weren't alone.
Dr. Morbius, you're a philologist, an expert in words and languages, their origins and meanings. Yet this robot of yours is beyond the combined resources of all Earth's physical science.
Okay.
Forgive me, I didn't mean to alarm you, gentlemen. I had Robbie install the steel shutters before I realized how altogether safe I am here.
Interesting use of stop motion.
There's no special difficulties and no need at all for military assistance.
Take it on down the road is what he's saying.
Yes, sir. The moment we've interviewed the other members of the Bellerophon fight.
There we go.
Before the first year was out, they had all, every man and woman of them, succumbed to a sort of a planetary force here. My wife and I differed from the others only in our special love for this new world, in our boundless longing to make a home here far from the scurry and strife of humankind.
You liked it so they didn't kill you?
I take it Mrs. Morbius isn't at home today.
My dear wife died a few months after the others. Only in her case, it was of natural causes.
Dr. Morbius, just what were the symptoms of all those other deaths?
Yeah.
My co-workers were torn literally limb from limb.
By what?
By some devilish thing that never once showed itself.
And the Bellerophon?
Vaporized as the 3 remaining survivors tried to take her off.
And yet, in all these 19 years, you personally have never again been bothered by this planetary force.
Or reached out.
Alta, I specifically asked you not to join us for lunch.
We so terribly wanted to meet a young man, and now 3 of them at once.
Uh-oh.
The 2 end ones are unbelievable.
Could this end one get you some coffee?
Could this end one? I love that. His name Lieutenant Farnham.
But you keep helping me. After all, you're not Robbie.
I wonder if his wife died in childbirth. 19 years, right?
Old, dependable Jerry. Of course, the doc can be trusted, too, in the daytime.
What about the commander?
Doc, drink a little bit.
Any girl or woman who lets him get her alone, anywhere.
Lieutenant, I mean, lovely. You just met these people.
I have you and Robbie and all my friends.
Friends.
Yes, perhaps you better call them, my dear.
Oh, wow.
What's up?
Look.
Whoa. I saw how they did that. You could see through it for a second. They overlapped the film. That's awesome. Good idea.
Would you mind activating the viewer, sir?
Okay. As you can see, we're under no restraint whatsoever.
I love that. Show us. You said you're okay, but show us. I love that. We could have used that on the NCC 1701.
To build one, we'd have to cannibalize about 2/3 of the ship's electronic gear, and then unship the main drive to juice it. Just to construct a bunker to house the core would take about 10 days.
Tell me, would 2-inch lead shielding do as well?
Be better if we happen to be carrying about 100 square yards of this stuff.
And I'll have Robbie run it off for you, and you'll get it not later than tomorrow noon.
He wants you off the planet.
Fasten your seat belts, gentlemen.
We're off like a dirty shirt. Robbie's my favorite so far. I mean, just the imagery. So I'm sold on this movie already. It's just so beautiful, so cool, so, I mean, evocative. Great stuff.
Come
on, Cookie, get out of the
The
way.
idea that they have to cannibalize electronics from the ship to make a transmitter. I mean, They don't just have one, or that's awesome. That's the tractor.
Sure,
Okay.
no interference there.
Look at that.
What about the magnetic pulley?
Bosun, just drop the thing down right over there.
Aye, aye, sir.
Here comes Robbie. Just one arming all these
Where do you wish the shielding stacks?
lead shielding plates.
Well, you can just put it right over there by the core. Thank you.
Watch when he drops, it'll be like seismic.
This is my morning's run of isotope 217. The whole thing hardly comes to 10 tons.
JJ's like, man, we could use Robbie big time on the boat.
Put me down, sir!
Commander.
That's hilarious. It's also foreshadowing.
Well, you better get this in a ship by dock. Won't do any good to have some fool fall over before we transmit tomorrow. Good work, Quinn. Thank you, sir.
Super cool. Really, really realistic.
I'm a stranger in this so-called planet. I was just wondering if you could tell me where I could get a hold of some of the real stuff.
Real stuff?
Just for cooking purposes, you understand.
Alcohol.
Quiet, please. I am analyzing. Would 60 gallons be sufficient?
Gallons?
When Robbie turns evil, let's remember the fun times we've had with him.
Want to kiss each other.
Oh, it's an old custom. All of the really high civilizations go in for it.
But it's so silly.
But it's good for you, though. It stimulates the whole system.
I'm Lieutenant Jerry Farnham. I'm a predator. Jesus, dude.
Is that all there is to it?
How blue her eyes are, man. Holy hell. I mean, it's stuff like this could destabilize the relationship with the doctor, and this guy's already been, talking crap about everybody else.
I don't know, Lieutenant. There must be something seriously the matter with me, because honestly, I haven't noticed the least bit of stimulation.
She's like, no, nothing.
And rank doth have its little privileges, sir?
And you can depend on it, Lieutenant, that those privileges won't be stretched to taking your kind of advantages.
Nice. Yeah, dude, take it on down the road.
Stimulation from hugging and kissing, that's all.
Oh, that's all. It's so easy for you, isn't it? There's no feelings, no emotions.
She's been alone with her dad and a robot for 19 years, her entire life.
Oh, go on. Get out of here before I have her run out of the area under guard. And then I'll put more guards in the guards.
We're not being effective communicators.
Sorry, miss. I was giving myself an oil job. And what is it you require this time, Miss Alta?
This time.
Must have a new dress right away.
Again.
With lots and lots of star sapphires.
Star sapphires take a week to crystallize properly. Would diamond or emeralds do?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to go back to Earth either. You got Robbie to do everything for you with 15-karat diamonds. What?
Joe, what? Do you hear something? Like what?
I'm watching that guy in the background. Oh no, something invisible? That's not great. We're gonna lose a bunch of people here. I love the ship. Now, maybe they got into those like transporter tubes, and that was like their suspended animation.
And Youngerford, let me see. You were asleep in your bunk. And you think you had a dream. Pending further evidence, you're deprived of space pay and all privileges.
Well, me too,
What?
sir?
No, me too, sir. Will stand 20 extra watches. I'll have less dreaming aboard this ship.
Came packed and liquid-borne in a suspended gravity.
All right, so it's impossible. How long will it take?
Well, if I don't stop for breakfast.
All right, get on it, Quinn.
Thank you, sir.
Thank God we got Quinn.
Tractor's ready, sir. Thank you, Steve.
Hey, half a minute, Skipper. I'll change into a clean uniform.
No, you can stay right there, dude.
Oh, I see. Establish a standard perimeter, set up a Class A alert. I want them enforced by sundown.
Aye, aye, sir.
Hey, sorry, Farnham, that you can't, continue doing whatever the hell you want with somebody that's unaware of your motivations. What are you doing here, buddy? Bad dates. Oh, that's awesome.
Morbius is in his study, sir, never to be disturbed while that door is closed.
All right, we'll wait.
Too much to say good morning, Robbie?
How could he have slipped past 2 centuries?
That's impossible. And he doesn't breathe.
Okay, Skipper, and if Morbius comes out, we'll call you from right here.
I like some of these characters. Doc, what's his name? Ostro? I mean, I wouldn't want to leave this place either.
I'm very sorry about the way I spoke to you yesterday, Al. I was sort of bothered.
Okay, JJ.
All right. You can look now.
Robbie had it ready.
You always look just beautiful.
Then why don't you kiss me like everybody else does?
Everybody?
Everybody?
Of course, that's mostly on the theoretical side.
Well, so far.
Huh?
What is going on here? I mean, I understand innocence is one thing, but we're starting to get towards manipulation here. I mean, we run a huge risk, too. I mean, we don't know anything about Morbius. Oh, boy. Uh-oh.
That's all right. He's my friend.
Big friend. I just disintegrated your friend.
He didn't recognize me. He would have killed me. Why?
Or was he coming after JJ? Well, it's not locked.
Not even a window.
It looks really cool.
Hieroglyphics?
Maybe. But it doesn't look like Egyptian, or cuneiform, or Chinese.
There's a big...
Last night, our Klystron monitor was sabotaged.
And you suspect me? Then the time has come for clarification.
Sure.
This planet was the home of a mighty and noble race of beings, which called themselves the Krell. They were 1,000,000 years ahead of humankind. For in unlocking the mysteries of nature, they had conquered even their baser selves. Beyonds, they had abolished sickness and insanity and crime, and all injustice they turned, still with high benevolence, outward toward space.
Interesting.
They had walked our Earth and brought back many biological specimens.
The deer and the tiger.
Seemingly on the threshold of some supreme accomplishment, which was to have crowned their entire history, this all but divine race perished in a single night, have crumbled back into the soil of Altair 4, and nothing, absolutely nothing remains above ground.
But below ground.
That recording was made by Krell musicians 500,000 years ago.
Sounds like whale song. I mean, you assume it's music, right? I mean, you pull it out of like a CD blister or something?
The molecules are many times more densely interlocked than in earthly steel, yet it drinks up energy like a sponge.
I love that. It's like a safe, like a vault, but it has an axis in it.
On this screen may be projected the total scientific knowledge of the Krell, from its primitive beginning to the day of its annihilation. Eventually, I was able to deduce most of their huge logical alphabet. I began to learn. The first practical result was that robot of mine, which you gentlemen appear to find so remarkable.
You used their blueprints to make Robbie. Awesome.
What is this device over here?
I call it their plastic educator. As far as I can make out, they used it to condition and test their young.
What?
I often play with it myself for relaxation. Although working here, I sometimes wish I'd been blessed with multiple arms and legs. Over here, you see the electromagnetic waves of my brain sending that indicator up about halfway.
Wow.
Which by Krell standards classifies me as a low-grade moron. Yet I have an officially recorded IQ of 183.
Self-deprecation and also the little bit of ego.
Would you gentlemen care to take the Krell test of your intelligence?
Yes, very much.
You may be disappointed, Commander. Suppose we start with a good doctor.
You may be disappointed, JJ. We're not expecting much.
I have an IQ of 161, yet I don't register a third what you did.
Now the Commander.
What's going to happen? Either JJ is going to do what we expect and flatline or send it to the moon. That's what I thought.
In my first attempt at creating an image here, my brain pattern there was scarcely any larger than yours. Afterwards, I lay unconscious for a day and a night.
I pissed myself and forgot who I was.
When I discovered that the shock had permanently doubled my intellectual capacity. Otherwise, my researches here would have come to nothing.
Okay.
One which they actually seem to hope might somehow free them once and for all from any dependence on physical instrumentalities.
Like total mental?
Young man, these devices, self-serviced, self-maintained, have stood exactly as you see them for 2,000 centuries.
We could use some of that tech.
May I draw your attention to these gauges all around here, gentlemen. On and on and on, row after row, gauge after gauge. But there is no direct wiring that I can discover.
Between the gauges?
It registers infinitesimally, you see, down there in the lower left-hand corner.
It's red or orange?
Gentlemen, would you care to see some more of the Krell wonders?
Indeed, yes.
You see, I mean, Doc, I assume you know what you're doing here, but...
How often the Krell technicians have ridden in this little vehicle?
So they're our size. Holy hell, is this their city? I wasn't expecting this at all. This movie I wasn't expecting at all. I was expecting some type of like, I don't know, like space conflict, Flash Gordon-y type stuff. This is like really in depth. This is like almost like a original series episode in many ways. I think of all the times we've gone to planets to find like lone, colonists or scientists, man traps, stuff like that. Very interesting. Surprising.
Circuits opening and closing.
And they never rest. This is one of their ventilator shafts. You can feel the warm air rising. Look down here.
So geothermal energy?
7,800 levels.
What? Holy shit! It's like through the planet? So I wonder what the grand accomplishment was that they almost had finished, like the grand design that would they say, taken them out of instrumentality? I'm assuming like all mental stuff then at that point, if I'm reading that right.
I have reason to believe that 16 years ago, a minor alteration was performed throughout the entire 8,000 cubic miles of its own fabric.
What?
And nearly a whole dial became active when your ship first approached from deep space. I'll show you a section of one of the power units.
So everything has representation. I love it. Important safety tip, everybody. Watch out for the fence.
Look, Cookie, I don't know what you're lying about, but you better get back here before the skipper checks in, or we'll both be skinned.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Quinn, this is Fireman. Kill the power on the fence.
They're thinking of a lot of stuff to make this realistic. They're very detail oriented. I like it. Oh my God. That's the good stuff.
It's smooth, too.
It's smooth. I like my guys acting a lot.
Anytime you're hard up for a couple of gallons of lube oil, you just let me know.
How you gonna get that all back, dude? Something trying to get through.
Shall I shut down the current, sir?
No. No, it's stopped now.
Unless it's already in. So is that like a foot with like a claw on, like almost like a reptilian hook nail on the end of it? See how it, right in the front of the pad there's a... Okay, bending the steps. But it went in before. And this... Oh, they're flexing. Okay. Who was that, I wonder? Cookie?
Dr. Morbius, a scientific find of this magnitude has got to be taken under United Planet supervision. No one man can be allowed to monopolize it.
Such portions, then, of the Krell science as I may from time to time deem suitable and safe, I shall dispense to Earth. Other portions I shall withhold.
So you're the gatekeeper for humanity's evolution. Gotcha. Okay.
Dr. Morbius, in the absence of special instructions, you leave me in a very awkward position.
Commander Adams.
Speaking, Lieutenant.
Skipper, the chief's been murdered.
Quinn. Oh, shit.
Skipper, his body is plastered all over the communications room.
All right, leave everything as it is.
That's what he was talking about. Torn apart. What is it? Morbius enough with the hints and... What are we facing here, and how are you guys not affected by it? And it's not that I love the land so much that it's leaving me alive. This is the bucket I put him in.
From the footprints we found.
Ah, big ass hook.
Characteristic of a 4-footed animal. Yet our visitor last night left the tracks of a biped.
Yeah, it was upright. It's walking upright.
Just doesn't fit into normal nature. Anywhere in the galaxy, this is a nightmare.
I love him applying known biological traits. That's awesome.
Did you give him permission to get falling down drunk?
Drunk, sir? Me, sir? Well, I stuck to Ostro, sir. 4 pints of 120 proof bourbon without a trace of hangover in it. Now, that ain't natural, sir.
Did it not get... Does he not get drunk? Is that what he's... Or, okay, didn't get a hangover. So where do you get that bourbon? Asking for a friend.
Maybe you and I ought to drop over to that Krell laboratory and get our IQs boosted a couple of 100%.
Sir, burial detail is ready.
Oh.
Quinn is a huge loss. The point where I think he was targeted.
Fine technician. Good shipmate.
And that's a good epitaph for any man.
It's Morbin time.
Remain here, and the next attack on your party will be more deadly and general.
How do you know that?
He told you he's seen it before, but I'm not sure if that's the truth.
If you wish, call it a premonition.
Okay, so you're precogging our deaths, or are you manifesting it?
What do you make of that, Skipper?
I'd say it sounded like an ultimatum.
Yeah. Insinuation of a threat, at the very least.
Fire!
Yeah. Man, those throw some, like, multi-shot heat. I like it. It's kind of panels that would generate, like, a radiation, or... It's interesting.
Look, this may be a big deal coming up. I'm sorry if I've leaned on you at all. You've got to understand that...
Stop knocking yourself out, Skipper. She picked the right man.
Oh, yeah, we're just...
Automatic control.
What does that mean?
Hold fire! You see anything out there, Doc?
I didn't see anything hit.
This may have been a ruse to divert us from some other part of the perimeter. You men will continue watching on your own immediate fronts. That is all.
Okay, so they think we had a positive contact with a hit then, eh?
Are you sure you got a real blip there?
Big as a house, sir, and we were dead on target with both bursts. It's coming on again.
So it took them.
It shows here.
Oh, great.
It's still coming.
Great. Strong, set up a crossfire on those rocks.
Try everything we got here. This thing's going to figure out this fence. I'm assuming you can just go over the fence, right? If it's smart enough, and I'm sure it'll figure out a way around it. I like this music. Or whatever it is. Light it up. Oh! Oh! It's not doing shit to it, other than revealing it. I sort of like the quiet of the weapons. You guys need to get away. That's too close. Yeah, that was dumb. It was a dumb move. No, Jerry, what are you doing, bud? Dear God. Yeah, everybody shoot. Whatever you can, throw a rock. Look at all the power that's being used. Hey, it's Morbin time, buddy. You got anything for us here? We're getting attacked by something from hell.
I just had a terrible dream. Huh? It was blood and fire and thunder, and something awful was moving in the middle of it. I could hear it roar and bellow.
What are they what's going on? I love it. How does it not attack you guys, though? Come on now. These guys are here barely. You've been through 2 of these events? Come on now. We need some effing answers, man.
Get those graves dug. Keep the men busy.
Right. The busier, the better.
So all three of them, I assume, are dead. Great, great, great.
Whatever it was, our main battery stopped it.
You believe that?
No. It got what it wanted. It got 3 kills.
But it'd sink of its own weight to the center of this planet.
Well, you saw it yourself, standing right there in those neutron beams.
And there's your answer. It must have been renewing its molecular structure from 1 microsecond to the next.
Using the neutron beams?
Now, if you remember the Bellerophon expedition, the ship was vaporized trying to lift off.
The last 3 people.
It's priority that one of us gets into that Krell lab and takes that brain boost. I'm leaving you in command. Get the ship operational. Do your best to wait it out for me and the doctor.
The brain boost, though, you're assuming that the Morbius told you the right thing. There's that magnet. I'm telling you, that's foreshadowing for Robbie. It's an awesome vehicle they made. How much fun it must have been back in the day to make sets and props for... I mean, this is all practical, obviously, but talk about imagination.
No lights showing.
It could be underground.
In case we make it into that lab, I'll take the first go at the IQ booster.
That way, if my head explodes, you'll know not to do it. Hey, Robbie. What's up?
I am monitored to admit no one at this hour.
That sounded final. Maybe if we reasoned with him.
Yeah, that'll work.
Hasn't he got a built-in rule against wringing our little necks for us?
You would think.
Robbie, emergency cancellation Archimedes. Why are you here?
We're to grab you. We're leaving.
I don't know. It was just some kind of big outline in the disintegrator beams. And you can't explain it.
What do you all know about it?
Then we'll take him.
By force? I can't agree to that either.
Can't you? You don't realize what's loose on this planet.
But I'm immune, like both my parents.
That's what he says. I don't believe it. Nothing could be...
Yeah. What agreement was made? Something had to happen.
Doc, will you talk some sense to this girl? I'm in over my head. Doc? Doc?
He's not sitting there watching you guys make out.
On the sofa, Robbie.
He tried the machine.
You ought to see my new mind. Up there in lights. Bigger than his now.
Okay. But we don't know what that does.
Let's have it.
But the Krell forgot one thing.
Yes, what?
Monsters, John. Monsters from the id.
Id, like personality?
Doc.
Too much. Too much, man. Damn it. I like the doc. God, from the id? That sounded like...
He's dead.
He was warned, and now he's paid. Let him be buried with the other victims of human greed and folly.
Whoa.
Alta.
I'm ready to go with you, darling.
Altera, go!
I will place him in the tractor, sir.
Thank you.
Young man, my daughter is planning a very foolish action, and she'll be terribly punished.
What is the id?
Id. It's an obsolete term.
Okay.
Elementary basis of the subconscious mind.
Okay. That's the id I was thinking of.
Big machine, 8,000 cubic miles of Clystron relays, enough power for a whole population of creative geniuses, operated by remote control. Morbius, operated by the electromagnetic impulses of individual Krell brains. Creation by mere thought.
Why haven't I seen this all along?
But like you, the Krell forgot one deadly danger. Their own subconscious hate and lust for destruction.
The beast. The mindless primitive.
It's crazy.
The secret devil of every soul on the planet, all set free at once to loot and maim. And take revenge, Morbius, and kill.
All very convincing, but for one obvious fallacy.
Why are we alive?
The last Krell died 2,000 centuries ago. But today, as we all know, there is still at large on this planet a living monster.
You made it.
Morbius.
What?
Something is approaching from the southwest. It is now quite close.
The Beast. That's awesome. See it smashing the trees. That'd be awesome. There it comes.
There it comes.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. That comes into play. Dude, you were hooked up to the machine. You augmented your shit with it. This is coming from you, man. That doesn't need Krell anymore. It's got a Morbius.
Morbius, that thing out there. It's you. You're insane.
Stop it, Robbie. Don't let it in.
Combination
Kill
of
it, Robbie.
He can't. It's you. He can't. It's you, dude. Oh my God.
He knows it's your other self.
Really good use of stop motion to get some of these things working. Some of these effects. But now what? His crew is toast.
Whatever you know and hear, your twin self out in the tunnel knows too.
I'm not a monster, you.
We're all part monsters in our subconscious.
Morbius, we're going to try to kill you now and see if we're safe.
Here's where your mind was artificially enlarged. Consciously, it still lacked the power to operate the great machine, but your subconscious had been made strong enough.
I won't hear you.
What's the other explanation, dude?
You sent your secret id out to murder them.
I'm not sure he was doing it intentionally, though. He might have, thought it.
But then when you thought we were threatening your little egomaniac empire, your subconscious sent its id monster out again. More deaths, Morbius. More murder.
He's going to have to kill himself. Or die. He's going to have to die.
Solid Krell metal, 26 inches thick.
Look at your gauges.
He's taking all the power it needs.
The machine is going to supply your monster with whatever amount of power it requires to reach us. Look now.
It's heating up. Oh, boy.
Red hot. Soon it'll be white hot. Then it'll soften and melt.
And then we're all dead. Well, 2 of the 3 of us anyway.
Help us, darling. I've known you great and noble like the crown.
Yeah. Look at that. Awesome effect. They're superimposing a piece of heated metal. Did you see that? You could
Stop! No further! I deny you! I give you up!
I don't think that's how it works.
Turn that disc. The switch. Throw it.
What's it do?
In 24 hours, you must be 100 million miles out in space. It cannot be reversed. All.
No.
But technically, you should be safe now, right?
98.6. We're clear now.
98.6. Nice.
What an astrogator.
A genuine privilege, Commander.
Activate main view plate.
Aye, aye, Skipper.
Robbie, nice. I thought he was going to turn evil for sure. I would have lost money on that.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wow. You said 100 million. We're 98.6. Guess that's good enough.
About 1 million years from now, the human race will have crawled up to where the Krell stood in their great moment of triumph and tragedy.
Will we make the same choice?
Your father's name will shine again, like a beacon in the galaxy.
Of what not to do. Nice. So glad I saw that. All right, everybody, we just finished watching MGM's Forbidden Planet, the 1956 offering of a sci-fi masterpiece, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just finished 1956's Forbidden Planet. Okay, so here's what first off, I thought it was fantastic, especially when you see so many elements of which now I am a bit familiar with Star Trek, the original series, just started Twilight Zone and things like that. And I'm sure, like, if you all have talked about, like, yeah, with Night Gallery and a couple of the other ones, Outer Limits, I am sure those are going to be, there's going to be elements of Forbidden Planet meshed in with them as well. I was That's a thing that impressed me the most, is that there were so many things that seemed to become staples of science fiction. Now, again, here's where my ignorance comes into play. I don't know if there was a predecessor to Forbidden Planet that informed it of certain, like, science fiction, would-be tropes that would show up, but I thought that this one was incredibly well done, and for in the weirdest possible way. This was in 1956. We're talking almost 70 years ago. In all of that, I thought that there were, and again, taking it with a grain of salt, the fact that I don't know that much science fiction as far as it comes to, like, obviously I haven't seen, I just saw Forbidden Planet today. There were so many unique elements to this movie that still remain unique. I thought that was real. That was probably the most interesting thing to me, was that there were certain things that were on there that I haven't seen replicated. You know what I mean? You've seen variations of certain things, but, like, if that was the hyperspace, like, chamber where they were, like, bathed in the light and sort of dematerialized, sort of, and that's how they, like, withstood the hyperspace travel, I haven't seen anything like that. That is really, really crazy to me. That would be almost like akin to getting into, like, if we didn't have faster than light travel in Star Trek, and they had to get into, like, the transporter buffers, and that's how they rode all the way to wherever they needed to go. Interesting way to, like, do workarounds and things like that. I think of, like, it took a year for them to get out to the planet with Morbius on it, and again, they must have slept through it, but it reminds me too of the Twilight Zone, The Lonely. You know what I mean? I think it was a couple months out to where the prisoner was in The Lonely. So many things not taken, but, inspired by Forbidden Planet. Really, really cool. I would have lost my shirt. I would have lost my shirt thinking that this guy was evil. I would have 1,000% thought that Robbie was going to turn tough. I'm like, okay, here it's like, and whenever he was standing at the door, well, when the Doc and JJ got there, I'm like, okay, this is it. This is when he goes crazy and starts killing. Not at all. Robbie was exactly what he was supposed to be. Now, the one other thing that's a little, Robbie was a Krell creation. Now, true, the Krell didn't make Robbie, but Morbius used, information, blueprints, schematics, whatever it was, to create Robbie. And so that's my one little caveat. It's almost like the ending of Terminator 1, when you think everything's wrapped up, and then in T2 you find out that Cyberdyne has been, they got the arm and the chip, it's like, well, we've taken care of all the Krell technology, as Robbie's walking around in the background. You're like, wait a minute. Okay, so now here's a couple things that, very few things I have to nitpick about it, but this is more filmmaking in general. It's, they didn't have enough of a principal script to go the full 90 minutes that they needed, and you could tell that they were adding in, like, a bunch of, like, B-plot stuff, and normally that's not a problem. It's just that, like, the B-plot stuff, while it informed of kind of the situation and the atmosphere, I'm thinking of our, Cookie, who had apparently a mighty drinking problem that was being taken care of, or it was being enabled by Robbie, as far as, like, the gallons and gallons of bourbon that he got him. But, we didn't really need that. The majority of that plot didn't need to be there. You could have easily you could have easily had an alibi for the positioning of Robbie and the cook or whatnot, just by some other means, some kind of, like, base, like, hey, there's Robbie. And that seems to be the entire point of that, was during one of the attacks, Robbie was with Cookie. And so there was kind of an alibi established that, well, it couldn't have been Robbie, he was with me, so that whatever murder occurred, it wasn't, like, directly influenced by Morbius or Robbie or anything that was explainable, you know what I mean? It was still kind of left that air of mystery about everything. But again, we had this kind of a development of a plot that didn't need to be there, so to speak. And, I'm thinking again of too also of the lieutenant, the lieutenant who had like, we got to learn a bit about him because of he and his overtures towards Altera. And, I'll just leave it there. His very ham-handed approach to romance with her. And again, these are all kind of things that establish, you would think it's a character trait establishment. Okay, so you're showing the lieutenant as a not really that up and up type of guy. You think it's going to go somewhere. Turns out it was kind of brushed under the rug, like, hey, the best man won, ha ha ha. And then he goes off and gets killed. And there's no real kind of like, you can just say, hey, well, that's how he was towards her. And but there was no real kind of revelation later on about that. Again, too, I got suckered into thinking that the magnet on the back of the tractor was going to come into some type of vogue or, be used against Robbie is what I thought. Nope, we never saw any of that. Not that that's a problem. That's me biting on a red herring. But again, there was a couple things in there that I think in today's day and age would have probably hit the cutting room floor. And the problem then is you got like an hour and 5-minute movie. But other than that, I mean, the main plot of the show was really, really good. And again, I think that if somebody were to look at this, like a Gene Roddenberry, a Gene Kuhn, anybody that was like DC Fontana, was able to look at this and say, hey, you know what? If you trim away some of this excess that's all around here, you've got a pretty tight 45 to 50 minutes of a really solid story that you could insert. And you know what? That is just the right length for a television show. And I honestly, when we were watching this, I thought to myself, in many ways, it reminded me of an episode of The Virginian, of all things. The Virginian was like an hour and 20 minutes weekly Western that my son and I used to watch all the time. And Mr. Denton on Doomsday for the Twilight Zone, I totally missed that the young gunslinger was from The Virginian. Can't believe that, Swiss cheese brain. But again, they did the same thing with The Virginian, where you'd have like one really cool plot and then like a bunch of other ones that were there to get it up to like 120 minutes or 120 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes. But I still think that like with Forbidden Planet, if you boil all this down to was essentially like a rescue recovery, go check on Morbius type of, we've seen plenty of that in Star Trek, the original series. And I think that again, this is an incredible inspiration for a ton of tales that we saw in Star Trek, the original series, whether it be like Devil in the Dark, any of these. I mean, I think of, Metamorphosis is what I was trying to think of, where we met Zephram Cochrane. Again, it's like one person inhabiting a planet, some problems, whether it be an entity of some kind, to get across. So, I mean, to see Forbidden Planet now is to see its fingerprints over everything, not just early science fiction television with the original series. Again, such a limited, list of examples I have. But I mean, there is an intense amount of similarities to the structure of both the episodic stories of Star Trek, the original series, and what we saw is like the A plot in Forbidden Planet. I mean, a ton, just an absolute ton. This has to be one of the main inspirations for Star Trek. It has to be. And if it isn't, I would call bullshit on that, because you don't have the type of like structure for like a military craft. I mean, there was a lot going on that really meshed up. But the other thing that they did so well in this is they really turned into the realism. They really did. Like, well, we got to contact Earth, but we don't have the deep space kind of communication array that we're going to need. We're going to have to cannibalize parts from our ship to make this thing, to send the signal. It's going to take 10 days. That was awesome, because it's like you don't carry around a subspace or like a deep space, communication system. You build it with what you've got. And I think that is incredibly awesome. All in all, a fantastic, again, just to see, it's almost like seeing a fossil, and being like, oh my God, that's where the dinosaurs came from. Again, by no means did I think that this looked antiquated, or I thought that, like the acting was poor or kind of very era specific. I thought it flowed greatly. I thought they did a fantastic job with the editing. Like I said, the pacing was slow to the point where a couple times it got a little boring. Not because I thought the story was boring, but because they were just trying to get a little bit more time, and you've got a really good A plot, and you're kind of hoping you get back to that one. You know what I mean? But that is not a negative at all. The movie was absolutely super duper fun, and I loved it. You know, and that was just my one thing I could think of that was kind of a con for this whole thing. I end with this, my friends. I love the idea that when you boil it all down, when you start with the Krell, then to Morbius, and then to Ostro, you have people that were very intellectual, that appear to be nice. They weren't evil by any stretch of the imagination. Morbius certainly wasn't evil, you know what I mean? And the Krell seemed to be, at least by what we received from Morbius and Ostro a little bit, you know, and just kind of like the understanding of them, is that they were a peace-dominated, sort of like, you know, very artistic, very kind of much like the Federation, you know, this kind of utopian type of system that they had in place. And they were just trying to advance, and they went too far. And whenever they hooked their minds up to these things, they didn't realize that there were still monsters lurking in the recesses of their brains. And those monsters manifested themselves just as real as they could use without their instrument. Like, I'd like a chair right there. And then their subconscious goes, I would like a 10-foot demon right there. You know, and that was it. But what an interesting problem that was not thought of, but makes complete and utter sense whenever you think to yourself, oh, we're using technology where we think what we want into existence. Problem is, much like Dan Aykroyd found out in the Ghostbusters, you can't always stop yourself from thinking about bad shit. Well, friends, that was another edition of Sci-Friday, and a damn fun time was had by all, I hope. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for a little Sci-Friday. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like in earlier in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time to say goodbye from Sci-Friday and 1956's science fiction tentpole Forbidden Planet. But where should we say goodbye from? Because we are the Greek chorus, my friends. We are a vitally important part of the narrative. We're the audience. The storytellers tell us, we listen, we hear, we like, we tell others to do the same. So we're very important. And as a reward, we get to go back into what we've just watched and say goodbye from a scene. So friends, here's where I think that we should say goodbye from. I really, really, really enjoyed the end when I got swerved and realized that Robbie was in fact a good guy. And so a scene that was not shown. We are sitting there with JJ as we are members of the crew and we are watching what's going on when Robbie is offered to come along, and not only come along, but become our new astrogator. Friends, until such time as we watch another great science fiction movie, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.